All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I'd like to do is take this time to go through what I think is probably the most challenging comparison of trends that we have in this unit, and that's comparing the ionic radii. The reason that this is the most challenging of the trends is really because you have to figure out what is the atom going to look like. What is its nucleus size going to be, the mass of the nucleus, and what cloud is it going to have after it has gained or lost electrons. Those are the two things that you have to process before you can compare one ion to another. So remember, atoms ionize to become like noble gases. And when I say like noble gases, they want to get the cloud of a noble gas. They want to get a full S or full S and P sublevel, depending on where they're at in the periodic table. Every other element on the table has what we refer to as noble gas envy. Every single atom on this periodic table has a desire to gain or lose electrons so that their electron cloud is like helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, or augnetin. Okay? And all that means is that it has a full 1s, a 1s2, a full 2s and 2p, full 3s and 3p. And what I want to do, just so that we can visualize this, not just hear about it, is I want to go through an example of sodium and magnesium, and then we'll go through an example of a nonmetal and a metal and comparing those. Okay? Now, the first thing you need to figure out is what noble gas is the element going to change to. In order to do that, if we look at the electron configuration for sodium, which has a mass of 23 and an atomic number of 11, so 11 electrons, it has a configuration of 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. The 3s1 is that last outermost electron on the third energy level. That's the electron it's going to lose. It's going to lose this electron, which means it's going to get rid of this 3s1. So our new configuration then is going to be that of neon. So what that means is that now when sodium becomes the sodium ion, when it loses that one electron on its outermost energy level, it gets rid of the 3s sublevel altogether. It takes on the configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. That happens to be the configuration of neon. But this atom, even though it has the cloud of neon, 2 electrons in the first energy level and 8 electrons in the second energy level, that last outer shell wants to be full. So if it's the first energy level, 2 is fine, but every other energy level, in order to be like a noble gas, you need to have 8 electrons on the valence. It has a mass of 23. So it has the cloud of neon, but a mass of 23. Magnesium, on the other hand, has a configuration of 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. Magnesium, when it ionizes, is going to lose 2 electrons. It's going to lose both of the electrons in the outermost energy level. It's going to get rid of the 3s sublevel, and it will the +2 magnesium ion that has the configuration of neon, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. So it's neon's cloud, but it has a mass of 24. So if we were asked to compare the sizes of these two ions, we first figure out what electron cloud are they going to have. They happen to lose electrons and obtain the same cloud. They both get rid of the 3s sublevel. Sodium by losing 1 electron, magnesium by losing 2. So they have the same cloud. So that means now what we need to compare are our masses. And if you remember with nuclear charge, whichever element has the same number of energy levels, so they both have the same cloud, same number of energy levels, whichever element has the same number of energy levels and the larger mass is going to pull those electrons in tighter. So if we're going to compare these two atoms that are ions, sodium +1 and magnesium +2, we notice that they both have the same electron cloud. They both have the same electron cloud, but this one is going to be larger because it has a smaller mass, so the gravity isn't as strong, so the electrons are going to be a little bit more spread out. This one's going to be smaller because it has the same cloud but a heavier nucleus. Its center has more gravity, so it's going to pull them in more tightly. Looking at sulfur and calcium as atoms, neutral atoms, they each have the following configurations: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, and 3p4. For sulfur, which gives it 2 electrons on the first energy level, 8 electrons on the second, and 6 electrons on the third energy level. This atom needs to gain 2 electrons. It's going to be easiest to fill the third energy level by gaining 2 electrons compared to trying to lose 6. Gaining 2 is easier than losing 6. So it's going to gain 2 electrons. When sulfur gains those 2 electrons and fills up its third energy level, it gets the electron configuration of argon, which is at the end of the 3p6. So it takes on the configuration of argon, but it has a mass of 32. So argon's cloud with a mass of 32 compared to calcium, which as it ionizes loses 2 electrons. It's going to lose both of these electrons on its 4th energy level. So as it loses 2 electrons, it ends up with the electron cloud of argon as well. The difference being calcium has argon's electron configuration but has a mass of 40. So if we have an electron cloud that has 2 electrons in the first energy level, 8 electrons in the second, 8 in the third, for both of these atoms, but this one has a mass of 32, this one has a mass of 40. Calcium's ion is going to have a greater nuclear charge, a greater gravity, and it will make this ion smaller, and the sulfur ion will be larger because it has a smaller nucleus, a smaller nuclear charge with the same electron cloud. I hope these 2 examples are helpful in getting you to understand the process of figuring out, after the atom gains or loses the electrons, figure out what its electron cloud is going to look like. If they happen to both be the same, if both atoms after they ionize have the same cloud, then what you want to focus on is the lighter nucleus is going to be the larger atom. The smaller atom is going to have the bigger nucleus. Okay? So figure out the clouds. Now, let's say this one was, instead of sulfur, we did selenium. Well, selenium would gain 2 electrons and take on the cloud of krypton. Sulfur would take on 2 electrons and take on the cloud of argon. So now you're comparing argon's cloud with krypton's cloud. krypton's cloud has another layer, it's going to be bigger than argon's cloud. It doesn't matter that the nuclei are different. Okay? So think about, where will the electron cloud be? What's it going to look like? What's it going to look like when sulfur ionizes? It's going to look like argon with a mass of 32. Selenium would look like krypton with a mass of 79. That one, your larger atom would be the selenium ion, selenide, and your sulfide or sulfur's ion is going to be the smaller of the two. This one only has 3 energy levels. This one has 4 building up principles. Shielding is going to tell us that the selenide ion would be bigger. I hope this little hint video, tutorial video helps. If you still have questions on this, we will go over these in depth on Monday after you finish up the review activity. But as always, you can definitely can email questions, and if need be, we can jump on a Zoom and I can help you out one-on-one.